How much money can I make as a psychologist? Do I need science for psychology? What are the various branches of psychology? How can I actually get my license for psychology? Hey guys, what's up? Hope you guys are doing great. Welcome back to my channel. All the questions that you heard at the very start of the video are the usual questions that I get from you and your parents every single day. See guys, I think this is going to be my 13th or 14th video on psychology. But the reason why I'm making this video right now is because there are multiple changes that have happened in the field of psychology. See guys, to be very honest with you, it's no more a hidden secret that psychology is actually becoming one of the top most demanded career options in our country right now. Naturally so, because for humanities students, psychology is the topmost option. Even for students who've taken up biology or are not able to crack NEET are looking at psychology. At the same time, with the prevalence of the importance of mental health in human behavior that our country has started finally giving, it requires a lot of psychologists in our country. So the math behind students taking psychology is very plain and simple. In fact, adding on to this demand by the students, even a lot of colleges in our country have started offering various UG and master's courses in psychology. Along with that, the biggest validation has come from RCI because they have started mandating these things and they started bringing a lot of changes right now in this field. That is why I thought that this is very important for me to make this video right now itself. See guys, in this video, I am not going to beat around the bush or fluff. I am going to directly give you the complete roadmap of how you all can become a psychologist in our country. Guys, whether you're in your class 10th or school right now, or you're looking for your undergrad colleges, or you're already in your undergrad course and looking for master's colleges or anything for that bit, this video will clear each and every doubt that you have in order to become a psychologist. Now, all I want is to please make sure you watch this video till the very end so that you don't miss out on anything, because I have some very important details to share with you at the very end of this video. So just stick with me till the very end. Let's get started. First and foremost guys, if you are in class 10, because I think that is the time when you start making decision of whether you want to study science or humanities or any of that, I would ideally suggest you that if you want to become a psychologist, please make sure you have psychology in your 11th and 12th. Now, whether you want to take the humanities path, whether you're studying subjects like geography, political science, economics, or you want to take the science path with this physics, chemistry, biology, that is completely up to you. If you take my perspective, I would suggest you, if you can have a combination of biology and psychology, that'll be great. But even if not that, it's fine even if you take like humanities subjects plus psychology, but make sure you have psychology in your 11th and 12th because that will be beneficial for you. Now, for all those people who are looking for, various undergrad colleges and do not have psychology, guys, it is absolutely fine. Obviously, if you've studied psychology in your 11th and 12th grade, but even if you haven't, a lot of the colleges in our country don't even have psychology as a criteria. So if you're in a class 12th, you basically have two options. Either you can look at a BA in psychology program, or you can look at a BSc in psychology program. Now, for both of these things, psychology will be beneficial, but it is not mandatory. A lot of times parents come to me and tell me that no, Kavach, we have not applied for BSc Psychology Honours because our son or daughter does not have psychology. And then I ask them, who told you that psychology is important for BSc Psychology Honours? No guys, it is not. Majority of the colleges in the country today do not have that as a criteria. Some of the colleges do, but the majority don't. So you can relax if you don't have psychology. Obviously, if you have psychology, better for you, because in the entrance test and the interview, that will be beneficial for you. Now, the biggest change that came a few years back was with the RCI guidelines, where they launched a new program called BSc Clinical Psychology for 4 years. Guys, this course is only for science students, and this course only has 60 seats. That means if you have taken up science in your 11th and 12th is only when you can enroll for BSc Clinical Psychology. But BSc Psychology Honours or BA in Psychology Honours, any student can register for. Now, if you ask me whether I should go for a BA in Psychology or BSc in Psychology, I'll make it very plain and simple. I feel BSc Psychology Honours is far better for you. I've already made tons and tons of videos of the same, and some of them even went viral on Instagram and on YouTube. So if you haven't watched those videos, go check it up. But keeping it very short and crisp, guys, BSc Psychology Honours stands for Bachelors of Science in Psychology. That means you are looking at psychology from a scientific perspective. You have a lot of elements of biology, neurology, data, stats, which I feel will be better for you. If you're asking me, Kavach, which will be easier, BA in Psychology or BSc in Psychology, then honestly speaking, BA in Psychology will be easier for you. But because if I have to guide you right, I will ask you to please choose the harder right now than the easier wrong. Okay, so please go for BSc Psychology. Now, the BSc Psychology honors program can be of 3 years or 4 years because it's completely up to you whether you want to exit after 3 years or 4 years. My recommendation to each one of you would be to stick for 4 years and get an honors degree. Now, the reason for that is very simple, which I will explain from now. Usually, I would always tell students that no, you do 3 years and then get some experience and then go for your masters. But now, recently, RCI has again brought about a very big change in the policy. Firstly, let me explain to you what used to happen before. Students would do their undergrad in whichever course they wanted to do, and then they would go on to do their masters, MA in psychology or MSc in clinical psychology, counseling psychology, neuropsychology, or all of those things. And after that, if they wanted to become a clinical psychologist, they had to go and do something called as MPhil in order to get their license, and MPhil was 2 years. Now, RCI has brought about a huge change in this by disabandoning MPhil. That means there is no more MPhil now. Obviously, if somebody is watching this video and you're doing your MPhil is completely valid and you will get your license after this. But from 2026 onwards, there is no MPhil. That MPhil now has been replaced by a course called MA in Clinical Psychology. Obviously, the new course also has a lot of new elements looking in today's time, looking in today's problems of mental health and how it will be beneficial for students. But that has been replaced now. So now, because there is this huge need of psychologists in our country, what you have to do is you have to go for a 4-year BA in psychology or a BSc in psychology, and after that you can directly enroll yourself in an MA in clinical psychology program that is going to be of 2 years. After you do your 2 years there, you can get your license, which is, you have to register with something called a CRR. So you have to get something called a CRR number, which is Center of Rehabilitation Register number, and after that you can start practicing of your own. I hope this part is clear to each one of you. Now, your usual doubt will be that, hey Kavach, I have done a 3-year program. Now, what do I do? Guys, you have 2 options. Number 1 is after your 3 year, you go for MSc in clinical psychology, counseling psychology, something of that bit, and then go for your MA in clinical psychology. The other option is you can go for something called as a bridge course of 1 year and then go for your MA in clinical psychology. The third option is you enroll yourself for a master's program, but after the first year of your master's, you can exit if you have gotten more than 55% and then enroll yourself for MA in clinical psychology program. I hope this bit is clear to each one of you. After your MA in clinical psychology, you will get your license and you can start practicing of your own. So now ideally your education is of 6 years. Now, next doubt that you would have is that, hey Kavach, all that you're talking about so far is for clinical psychology, but I don't want to become a clinical psychologist, then what do I do? Guys, for all you people, the path is very simple. After your undergrad, ideally you should be looking at a master's in counseling psychology or forensic psychology, and from there you either start working with industries, organizations, or your students and education field, and then start your counseling psychology journey. For all you people, you do not require a license. But for somebody who wants to become a clinical psychologist, you require a license, and that can only happen now through MA in clinical psychology, which is a mandatory for all you people. Now, in case you have doubts that, hey, how does the process of MA in clinical psychology would work? Guys, it is going to be divided in 2 parts. Number 1 is the entrance test, which is going to be given 70% weightage. And the second part is your personal interview, which is going to be given 30% weightage. So that is the whole path, step by step, of how you all can become a clinical psychologist in the country and how you all can become a psychologist in the country. For psychologists, it's very clear, you do your undergrad, you do your masters, and then you start working immediately. For people who are looking for clinical psychology, you do your undergrad in psychology. After that, you go for your MA in clinical psychology, and then you become a clinical psychologist. That's about it for this particular video. I hope, guys, everything is clear. If in case you still have any doubts, queries, make sure you comment below and I'll be more than happy to reply. At the same time, guys, in the description of this video, I will be putting the official link, the 40-page document by RCI, which is talking about this whole change from MPhil to MA in clinical psychology. So make sure you go read that, because that will give you a lot of clarity. Even I read that document before I made this video. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go do that right away. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, please go do that right away. I'll see you all with another video. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.